Hey everybody, Tom Olson here from Good Success. And March, we are talking about the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make. And I'm going to be vulnerable this month. I'm going to talk about the mistakes I have made. So I'm going to go with 5 different things this month, and I'm going to tell you, hey, these are the biggest mistakes I've made. I'm not perfect. I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I've got 7 different businesses. I own lots of different properties. We have a mastermind. We've got a community go-giver club. We've got a community go-giver event. We have a nonprofit that we are involved in, and different ministries and different things that I want to be able to help and be able to live my life for and be able to work really hard to have, to give. And that's my whole mindset about everything. But guess what? I've made a lot of mistakes. And if you could learn from just one of these mistakes this month, I think it would be super valuable for you. So today is going to be the number one mistake that I think that I've made. And guess what? The number one mistake that you've made. Every single one of us make this mistake. And we may make this mistake on a daily basis. I'm not sure. But it's actually, I don't have the book with me in front of me. I would normally show you the book that I recommend that most people read to kind of go through this issue that everybody has and every business has in there. And this is the number one issue. The number one issue that you have in your business and the number one issue that I have in my business is the issue that I don't know exists. And I have had this problem. It has been a big problem to me sometimes. The issues that I'm blind to, the issues that I don't see, those are the ones that normally make people fall. It's not like the big giant that you go out and see and you say, hey, I'm David, you're Goliath. And David actually solved that problem really quickly because he saw it, he made a plan, and just like a sniper with that slingshot, he killed that giant. That's what we can do if we see the problem. But if we don't even see the problem and we don't know there's a problem, then how do we ever going to fix it? So it's one of those things that we have to, in order to solve that problem in our business, the problem that we don't know, we have to walk circumspectly. We have to guard our business. We've got to think about those evil things that could come into our business, whether it be pride or whether it be fear or whether it be thinking that we know it all. And typically that's what's been the case in my business at times. And at times I didn't know what my problem was, and I wasn't willing to go outside of my business to get help. So it's kind of like twofold there. So number one, not knowing that you have a problem, and then number two, once you have realized that you do have a problem, not being willing to get help immediately and go run to that group of people that you know, like, and trust and say, hey, I've got a problem. How can you help me solve this problem? And that's what the Good Success Mastermind is all about. That's what the Community Go-Giver Club is all about, is putting yourself in the front of a room and saying, hey, I'm going to be humble enough and I'm going to say, I need help. I need somebody to help me solve this problem. It's a little bit too big for me at this point, or maybe I don't really know what I don't know and I need somebody else to look at this from a different perspective. But I'm going to tell you, that has been one of the biggest problems that I have had. And I'll tell you, as soon as I started going out and as soon as I started asking other people at the masterminds that I'm a part of, or different communities or different groups of people that I would say, hey, these are the people that I trust, I have been able to solve issues very quickly, identify them, and then move on and create a plan to be able to attack those issues. And I'm going to tell you, again, it's one of my biggest mistakes I've made, and I'm going to promise you it's going to be one of your biggest mistakes that you will ever make. And I promise you have made this mistake and you will make this mistake. So if you haven't read the book, Leadership and Self-Deception, I highly recommend that you get that book, Leadership and Self-Deception. And it actually talks about this. It talks about us being in the box. So us only focused on ourselves and only focused on the things that we see and not really focused on other people and not focused on what other people are seeing. And again, I think this is great for our personal life, but it's also very good for your business as well. And and the same analogies and the same way of thinking apply to your marriage, to your relationship with your kids, but also to your business. And here at Good Success, if I'm going to be the right person, and if I'm going to do the right thing, and if I'm going to do it for the right reason, with the right people, for the right amount of time, I need that counsel. I need to be in a multitude of counselors at any given time. I need to humble myself every day. I have to push down pride, and I have to say, you know what? God, please help me. Please teach me the things that I need to be taught. please make sure that I'm going in the direction that you want me to go. And please help me, bless my business, keep me from evil, work in everything I do, and just help me be what you want me to be. And by us doing that, by us looking for those issues and saying, hey, I can solve these. I have the confidence to be able to solve these because I know what the issue is. And now I've seen it from other different people's perspective. Now I can make a wise decision to move forward in the direction, or to be able to change things, or to be able to fire people, or to be able to, hire more people, or to be able to pay off debt, or to be able to, whatever it is in your business, these things all apply. So again, number one mistake I think most businesses make, and again, most businesses, half of businesses go out of business in 2 years. Another half go out of business in the next 2 to 5 years. And by the year 10, 90% of all businesses fail. Why? Because issues come up that never get solved. It's those little things that bury into a business that if they're not taken care of and if they're not flushed out, create a cancer, which ends up taking down a business. So if you don't know that those things exist, you're blind and you're not being open to those issues, because every day we deal with issues, and if we don't solve them on a quick basis, and if we don't continually just push them away and say, you know what? No, we're going to push down pride. We're going to solve the issue. We're going to hit it square on. And also at the same time, we have to know, hey, I need help. I need to go find the experts in this field, or find the experts that have helped other people solve this issue, or have had the issue themselves, and go to them and say, hey, I've got a problem. This is where I'm at. How do you help me solve this issue? And part of that is knowing your numbers. That's why at Good Success, we do a Know Your Numbers bootcamp. Part of this is getting better at marketing and understanding your numbers and how much money you're spending. And part of this is budgets. Part of this is financial. But if you don't know you have an issue, you're never going to be able to solve it. And again, like, this is what took down the housing crisis in 2006, 2008 era, is that we didn't really realize we had a problem. Everybody was just thinking that housing was just going to always continue to go and just flow, and we could just build as many houses as we wanted to, and houses could just continue to go up in price, and we would never ever fall. Nobody knew we had a problem. Well, guess what? We had a problem. And so that's what you need to do in your business. I challenge you today to read that book, Leadership and Self-Deception. And I also challenge you today to challenge yourself and look in your own business and look in your own life and say, hey, where do I have issues? Where do I have blind spots? And how do I bring other people in to look at my business, or go to what kind of a mastermind can I go to that will look at my business and say, hey, this is where you might have a blind spot. I want to make sure you do the right thing. So don't do the wrong thing just because you're trying to help your business. Do the right thing and do right by the people that you're doing. But at the same time, make sure that you face this issue and say, hey, you've got a blind spot here. Maybe you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not doing the right thing. And the Bible's kind of clear that it talks about the righteous people, or the people that are doing right. That's what righteous means. The people that are doing right are supposed to go to those people that are not doing right and say, hey, I think there's an issue here. And you know what? We all have issues. We all are like mud. And it's kind of funny because when we start criticizing each other and we start throwing mud on each other, it's just like a bunch of mud throwing a bunch of mud on a bunch of mud. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why we want to be critical for each other and pump our chest and say how awesome we are, when really what we all need is just somebody to help us, and we all need to go help somebody else. So I hope this encourages you today. Remember to be a conduit, not a bucket. Work to have to give.